Y'all, a clean engine bay is a happy engine bay. You know, I'm not talking about shiny and perfect, but a clean, dry engine bay is a happy one. Well, how else are you going to know if you're developing a valve cover gasket leak, you got a power steering leak, you got an oil line leaking, unless everything else is clean and you can spot the leak? So, here's a quick tip on how to degrease and clean under the engine. I'll show you an example. This one right here, it does have an air intake box, so I'm just gonna fill this up with microfiber towels to keep additional, overflow water from flowing in there. But at the end of the day, if you look at this intake goes this way, and then at the bottom of this box would be where any potential water would go. The engine breathes from up top. Okay, so if you're going to clean it, and God forbid something did get in there, just leave it for a while. Don't crank it. Leave it for a while. Let it dry. Let it get nice and clean. And then later, if you need to move it temporarily. But water evaporates. On this one, you don't see any open intake boxes of any sort. There's no inlets or anything like that, so really right here we don't have a whole lot to worry about at all. I'm just going to spray all this down with degreaser, and I'm going to agitate. If you've got simple green or some sort of general degreaser like that, it's fine. It ain't going to hurt nothing. This one might be a little harder, and not because of the type of engine or because it's hot or cold or anything like that, but see this intake manifold right here? Every little crack right there, all those little crevices. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So I take a little bit more time on that. I may take a small brush and agitate that real well. And then I've got some compressed air. You might not have access to that, but that can help. You just want to avoid soaking electronics where you can, and avoid putting too much cleaner near the alternator. You don't want that stuff to soak down in there, because the alternator's got thousands of small little crevices and holes where that stuff can end up. Water ain't going to do a whole lot, not when it's not running, but yep. So we're going to go ahead and soak it down. I'm going to get a brush, start agitating. Alright, so I went with my degreaser, got it all nice and clean, used a little brush in the corners, got a little towel to get behind this line right here because it's tight. But man, look at how good that looks. So I'll let it dry. I may get out the compressed air. I will not be spraying compressed air around connectors, even though they've got O-rings and fittings to keep them nice and sealed. You just stay away from that if you can. But compressed air is great around a channel like this to get everything out, and these little bits right here. So we'll let it dry, and there's no need to put anything on top of it when it's done. All right, so let's see. Look how good that looks now. If you're a perfectionist like me, this car had a lot of dust under the hood, so I'm going to take a damp towel and just run over all my black plastics, get those nice and clean. And then, if you have a water-based shine, if that's what you like a shiny plastics, you could spray that down and go back with a microfiber and just kind of wipe it down to keep any residual from sticking together in certain spots and looking kind of funky. You want it nice and even. So, but yeah, nice and clean, nice and dry. Now we can see if anything starts leaking over time, and we're nice and comfortable with it.